thank you for joining us. We're on Naturals Network. I'm Naturally Nina. We're back in the kitchen today. We're going to be making mushroom burgers. Mushrooms are awesome. Mushrooms are kind of like a sponge though, so when you go to clean them, you don't want to douse them in a whole bunch of water because they're just going to take in that water that you're going to have to then, cook off again. So what I like to do is just get a little paper towel and wet it a little bit. You can see it's not super wet, but it's moist. And then I just take my mushroom and I wipe all of the gunk off of it. You can see all of the stuff that's coming off of it. And that's generally how you're just going to clean the mushroom off because, as I said, you don't want to douse it with a whole bunch of water, but you definitely want to clean it. Now, on the underside of a portobello mushroom, there is a stem, and you can see I removed the stem from here. This one I have not removed the stem because I wanted to show you how to do it. If you gently kind of pull on it, it'll start to give way on the bottom. So you just go all the way around and then it just comes right out like that. It's super easy. And so I'm going to continue washing this mushroom so that we can go ahead and get it prepared so we can eat it. Alright, so I've salted both the inside and the outside of the portobellos. Now I'm going to take some pepper. I'm just going to put a little bit of pepper on it as well. Do the same thing on the inside. And then my favorite thing always is the smoked paprika. So we're going to get some of that in these portobellos too. And I'm not going to worry about the outside with the smoked paprika because you don't want a whole bunch. And the inside of the mushroom is kind of like a bowl almost. So the seasonings are going to concentrate right inside that bowl. And then when you flip it over, it's going to go into the pan and into the oil and tamari, which we're going to be using too. So that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of tamari right in the mid portion of the underside of that mushroom. And so I will show you guys here. Kind of holds the liquid in there like a little bowl. So then when I flip it onto the pan, that liquid is going to become what they marinate in as they cook. I'm going to spray my pan here with a little bit of coconut oil. You don't want a whole bunch of oil, just a little bit so that they don't stick to the bottom. So my pan is nice and hot. So what I'm going to do is just take my first portobello. So I had it on medium heat. I turned it down a little bit because it seemed like it was a little bit hot. But we're just going to kind of let them sit and sweat, release some of that liquid. That liquid is then going to kind of sit at the bottom of the pan, and the mushrooms are going to kind of cook in that liquid. It's going to become like a marinating liquid that they're going to cook in. So we'll just wait a few minutes until they soften and release some of that liquid. But mushrooms are generally full of liquid, so most vegetables are though. They're going to be full of liquid because that's how they grow. They grow from sun and water. So we just want some of that moisture to be released, and then we'll flip them over. Alright, so my burgers have released some of their liquid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flip them over. We're going to wait a few more minutes for the outsides of those mushrooms to kind of release some of their liquid and soften too. Once they're nice and soft, we'll plate them and we'll make our burgers. In the meantime, while I was waiting for the mushrooms to cook, I just cut up some cherry tomatoes. So this is about 4 cherry tomatoes. I cut them in 3s. They were kind of big cherry tomatoes, and so that's what I'm going to use for my burger today. Of course, you can use whatever you'd like. Let me know how you like to make your burgers, how your burgers turned out. If you used different seasonings than what I used, let me know how it turned out so that I can try it too at home. As always, make sure you're subscribing to the channel so that you know everything that's going on. We can notify you if we're going out, we're going to be out and about, or where we will be, our pop-ups, and all of our locations. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos. So I like to use gluten-free bread, so I've got a loaf of gluten-free bread here. You can use whatever kind of wraps or buns that you like to use, of course. But my favorite is just the gluten-free bread. Alright, so we're going to add some tomatoes to the burgers. And then I like to put a little bit of mustard on top of mine. And I think I'm going to do some jalapenos today. And voila! You can dress them however you'd like to. Alright, so we're all done with our burgers. So I'm going to go ahead and plate it here and show you guys exactly what we're in for. That's what I love about these mushrooms. They're nice and meaty, and you get a nice texture when you bite into it, very similar to a burger. All right, well, that is my take on the Portobello mushroom burgers. Again, let me know how you guys' recipes turned out at home. I can't wait to hear it. Make sure you're subscribing, getting all your notifications, and I'm going to meet you back here right at Naturals Network next week.